Hey guys, my name is Hinn, and I just wanted to take a minute and share about the impact that the Packet family and the Arising has had on my family's life and the continual impact that they have. About 2 years ago, my wife and I got invited to the south of England, and we were very excited to go. We were going to be ministering at a conference, and we had never been to England together, and so we went with a lot of anticipation, but really having no idea what to expect. And before the event, we walked into this living room where this community of people were worshiping, and we had never felt an atmosphere inside of a living room like this. I had never seen hunger like this, specifically in the young people. And there was a moment I remember Joe, Andy and Lucy's youngest, worshiping on his knees, crying out to God. And I remember leaning over to my wife and noticing their four sons and thinking to myself, I've never seen young people so hungry for God. So I leaned over to my wife and I said, we have to find out who their parents are. So I ended up meeting Andy and Lucy, and I met this family that was some of the most unusual, anointed family I had ever seen. And we began to ask them questions, us being in ministry full-time. I've been in ministry full-time for 13 years, grew up though in full-time ministry in church. And one of the biggest questions I've always had is this: how do I get my family to burn? I've got 4 kids as well. My oldest is 8, my youngest is 2. And so I'm like, I want to start now. I want them to hunger for Jesus. I want them to be in the ministry with us. I want to do it as a family. So much in my life, I have seen, one person within the family called, maybe the father is traveling and doing this, and the kids suffer and the wife suffers, and we call it the cost of ministry. But the reality is I think it's just a lack of revelation. And I'm hungry to learn and understand, how do I get my whole family to sign up with me? How do I get them to follow the Lamb wherever the Lamb goes? And I'm not just saying this because I'm doing this video. I have never met a family that together follows Jesus in the way that the Packets do. So my wife and I were super hungry to learn and to understand, how do we do this as a family? And the counsel and the impact and the pillars they gave us of their ministry, the Arising, that's about raising up a generation to follow the Lamb wherever he goes, had an eternal impact on us. I remember one thing they said to me that absolutely marked me was they said, our desire is to raise priestly families. And then they gave us these practical tools of things we could implement in our living room that could help change the culture in our household. So Emily and I went home burning. We were so impacted on our way home. We said, what do we have to do to be around these people more? We had never been so pierced in our heart by a community. And so we went home and we implemented practically some of the things they told us. And I can honestly say it changed the culture in our home. It changed the pursuit. It gave us vision for how we are to move forward as developing a priestly family with young kids. And we were so impacted, we ended up going back to England for a month. And just honestly, I believed that I was going to move to England. But while we were there, the Lord spoke to us that we were to plant a church here in Florida, which is our 4th church plant. And one of the things I asked God was, Lord, I desperately need shepherds. And Andy and Lucy popped out to me. The Lord had spoken to them. There was this confirmation by miracles and testimonies. The Packets now live in Florida with us, have been here from the beginning, helped us plant this community. But one thing that's been so important to me is they have to continue to build the Arising. And the reason I say that is because I am a testimony of the Arising. My wife and I, we are testimonies of what God has done through their ministry and continues to do through their ministry. I said, if you can do this in a living room, you can do this with hundreds of people. So I don't believe that the Lord has just sent them here to a nation. I believe the Lord sent them here for a nation. And I believe it's just the first of many. I believe the fingerprint of God is on England. I believe that there's a move of God that needs to come to that nation. There's a move of God that needs to come to the nations of the earth. And I believe with all of my heart, God has raised up the Packets and the Arising to build culture in nations of priestly family, people that go after God together, in community, in healthy community. And so I just want to encourage you, as a partner of the Arising, or maybe you don't partner with the Arising, take it from me. This is one of the greatest things that we could invest in. And I'm not just doing this because I'm their friend and trying to help them. I have been directly impacted by this ministry, and I'm watching them now impact hundreds of people here in America and build this culture within a whole church environment. And I just can't wait to see what God is going to do with the Packets. So from the bottom of my heart, Andy and Lucy, Josh, Micah, Isaac, Joe, just want to say thank you for the impact you've had on my family and I. My kids look up to you. I always made this statement when I first met them. If I could send my children to the Brownsville revival for 5 years, as much as I would have loved my kids to see that, or if I had the opportunity to allow them to be raised around the Packet family, I'd pick the Packet family every single time, because this family is walking revival. And I just want to encourage you guys, sow into this ministry, sow into this house. it's having an impact greater than you could see, and it is all over the world. So I bless you, and I pray that you partner with this family and have the impact that I had as well.